So Sunn amplifiers are making a comeback and they're going to be available again soon. So I just saw the announcement recently where they're going to be remaking the beta lead, the beta bass, the 100S, the 200S, and a couple different powered speaker cabs and PAs. So I just wanted to hop on here and talk about it a little bit. I'm Jason from Fuzzlord Effects. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss any of the weekly videos that I put out. And why don't you drop a comment below and let me know what you think of the new Sunn amplifiers and of course the prices. A bunch of people have been talking on Instagram and different places on social media, but on the Fuzzlord Effects Instagram page I made a post about this and a lot of people shared their opinions and a little bit of frustration.
What the fuck?
So drop a comment below, let me know what you think of that the Model T is not coming. We're getting started right now. I'm Jason from Fuzzlord Effects. I appreciate you watching this video. I just wanted to hop on here and talk about Sunn amplifiers and their comeback. So Sunn Amps, if you're not familiar, was an Oregon company and they made a lot of solid state amps and a lot of really high powered tube amplifiers like the Model T, the 100S, the 200S, and then on the solid state side they have the beta lead, the beta bass, the concert lead I believe, and a bunch of other cool solid state amps that have become really popular since in the doom metal community. So I believe Red Fang, they really like using Sunn beta leads, or is it beta basses? I forget which one. Drop a comment below and let me know some of your favorite musicians that have played Sunn amps. I think Buzz from Melvins has liked Sunn amps for a long time, and I believe he was talking about in some interviews that in the early Nirvana stuff they were touring and playing some of their shows too with beta lead, if I'm not mistaken. So recently Sunn came out and they said they're going to be remaking these amps, and which is really good news. Just me personally, I think that's good news. So let's just talk a little bit about what's been going on, some of the comments that I've seen people make about these amps, and then at the end I want to share my opinions, which I haven't done yet, and also kind of the conspiracy theories behind where's the Model T amp. So yeah, recently they just announced that they're going to be bringing back some amplifiers, which is of course good news, and the whole doom metal crowd went fucking nuts over these amplifiers being re-released. So let's start off with the beta and bass, the beta lead and the beta bass. These are old school solid state amps that originally were 100 watts I believe, and they used a class AB power section. They're bringing them back, and I believe the price point is going to be $800, and they're going with a 100 watt class D output section. The good news of that is that the beta leads are going to be available again, and we're going to be able to pick them up and probably at places like Guitar Center. So if you have a problem with your beta lead, you're not going to have to like find the amp guru in whatever town to get your stuff worked on. You can either take it back and get it exchanged under warranty, or let's say you're a band on the road, your amp takes the shit on you, you can walk into a guitar store and just grab another one. So I know with touring musicians that can be pretty important sometimes. The whole deal with the old Class AB power section versus the new Class D power section, very legitimate complaint that a lot of people are making, that the old ones were a Class AB power section, which is all transistor based, and a bit more high fidelity, I guess you would say. It's very much more standard for a guitar amp to be Class AB, meaning they use two transistors that are kind of pushing and pulling against each other, much like a two-man. The Class D is going to be more modern. You get a lot of power for the price with those kind of amplifier output sections, and they create a lot less heat. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what I think about their choice on that. I'm just happy that the amplifier's back, My only thoughts on this is if they were going to do Class D, I wish they would have gone with more than 100 watts, like 200 or 300 watts. So it would be a little friendlier, more friendly for bass players. The doom metal guitar guys would get these big, loud, solid-state amps. And I think the trade-off that they could have gone with higher power, being Class D, would have made people a lot happier. Everybody seems to be really happy with the $800 price point, which I think is a fair price for that kind of amplifier. But if they would have just gone a little more power on the output section, like 200 watts, let's say, I think everyone would have been very happy and a lot more comfortable with the switch from Class AB to Class D. Again, I work on amps and design pedals and things like that for a living, and the whole Class D thing doesn't bother me quite as much as it bothers other people, but I understand where they're coming from. So drop a comment below and let me know what you think of this whole Class AB versus Class D thing on the beta leads and the beta basses in the comments below. And just kind of your thoughts on if they should have changed the design, if they should have left it exactly like the vintage one, or if you think everything is just all cool, which is totally a good answer too. The second big amp that they're bringing back, or like the series, is the 100S and the 200S, which I think is the biggest letdown to most people that got excited about the Sunn amp release. The 100S and the 200S are both very clean amplifiers that have minimal controls. It's just bass, treble, volume, I believe contour. And they really weren't revered as this like big collectible guitar amp. The Model T is still a very collectible amplifier that people sell used for anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000 ballpark. And the 100S and 200S were just never as popular. So they came back out and they said the 100S and 200S are going to be available for $3,300, which is a pretty ridiculous price point on a 100 watt or 65 watt tube amp in general compared to other stuff on the market. And it's also just kind of confusing that they went with that instead of the Model T. So again, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. A lot of people are really worried about how much the Model T would cost if they actually did make it because of this bullshit. So these amps, the 100S, sell used for between $800 and $1,000 working, and then they're selling it for $3,300. So that makes me wonder, what would the conversion be on a Model T? So if they sell used for $4,000, does that mean that they're going to be $10,000 when they start producing them again? So I don't know.
That's gonna kill me. That's real.
I'm happy to see the 100S back because I do like that amplifier. I like clean amps, but I totally understand that most people want to see the Model T and care nothing about any other amp until the Model T has been that spot has been filled. So I don't know. I'm happy to see that they're back, but maybe a weird choice on the amplifiers. A lot of people are wondering why they're doing this, and Sunn's always been a weird company. So the Model T was a very clean amp and used an ultra linear output section, has a ton of negative feedback that taps off the output transformer. Some, like the 100S, 200S, were also very clean amps, more hi-fi. And Sunn has always just leaned towards this clean hi-fi thing, which has never been very popular in guitar amp world or whatever. Usually guitar amps are meant to break up and distort early. Sunn amps are kind of the opposite. So if Sunn seems like they're making some weird decisions, sometimes I think it's just because they're a weird company that has their own ideas and they want clean amplifiers, and that might have kind of been where they got to the Class D output section, which again I wish was 200 watts. So that's my thoughts on these amps. I'm really excited to see them coming out. My general opinion is just that I'm happy to see that Sunn is making a comeback. Yes, it has been a rough start. I think some of the amplifiers they chose to offer are a little weird. The beta lead, of course, is a classic. I think it's the output section and the power that they have for those models could have been a little different. I think if they went with 200 watts plus, everybody would have been very happy with the Class D option. So that is just my 2 cents on the topic. I'm really curious to know what everyone else thinks about these amps in the comments below. If you want to see me do a demo on one of the new beta leads when they come out, just drop a comment. I'd love to pick one of these up and start checking it out. And also, I've been working on some preamp pedals here at the shop and doing some new designs that might have something to do with the new Sunn amps release. So if you think these $800 price points are a little too much, or $3,000, and you're wondering if a pedal format might take care of this whole problem in a way that fits on your pedal board, gets you those classic sounds, it doesn't make you go broke spending $3,300 on a Sunn amp, you might want to keep an eye out on what I've been working on, or what I'm going to release soon is what I'm hoping. I'm Jason from Fuzzlord Effects. I really appreciate you watching this video. Again, drop those comments below. And I just want to give a big thank you to all of the names that I'm running on the screen right now. These are all the Patreon supporters that help support this YouTube channel. So these are all folks that just make it a little easier for me to make videos, pick up some new gear to do demos with, check out some pedals. We also do pedal giveaways over there, discounts, pre-releases, and a bunch of other fun stuff. So again, I'm Jason from Fuzzlord. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I appreciate you watching, and let me know what you think of these new Sunn amps.